Hey guys, welcome to Photography Talk episode number 7. It is, of course, very great to see your smiling face again today. And we're going to start off things with a not so smiling incident. Well, it actually depends on how you look at it. A photographer nearly falls to her death at the Grand Canyon, and it's all caught on video. This is a good lesson in what not to do, people. A woman was trying to get in a position to take a photo of her mother at the Grand Canyon, nearly lost her life when she took one step too many going back as she was trying to frame things up. The video of the incident shows the woman continue to back up and loses her footing just as her right foot stepped over the edge. Fortunately for the woman, the 20-year-old Emily Coford, she was able to catch her balance and avoid the terrifying fall. The video shows the small ledge where the two ladies were and the huge drop on both sides. It doesn't look like an inviting place for a photo, if you ask me. The unfortunate side about this is, on average, guys, 3 people per year die at the Grand Canyon each year because of incidents like this. I'm glad this young lady is okay, but geez guys, be smarter than that. Next we have Adobe previews upcoming technology at Adobe Max 2019. Adobe Max 2019 ended a few days ago, and to wrap up the event, they gave us a peek behind the curtain of some very cool technologies that they're working on. One of the most impressive things that they discussed was Project About Face, which promises to automatically detect photo manipulation. In fact, Adobe says this artificial intelligence tool will be able to undo photo manipulation as well. In their demonstration, Adobe showed how the tech identified a modified portrait and drew a heat map of the areas that had been changed on it. Then it showed how the technology can undo the modifications with a pretty high degree of accuracy. Now, if you think that's cool, consider the Project Right Light. This gives you the power to completely relight a photo after it's been taken. And not just by a little either. You can change the time of the day from day to night if you want. You can even relight video footage. Adobe warns that these features aren't guaranteed to ever come to the consumer market, but yeah, it's pretty cool to dream, right? In other Adobe news, Adobe recently unveiled their Photoshop Camera app, which brings Photoshop magic directly to the point of capture. The app uses AI to help people shoot better photos by enhancing images, offering a bunch of different lenses, effects, filters for people to get more creative with. The cool thing is that the app automatically detects the subject in the photo and recommends things that you can do to make the shot better. It also instantly applies certain features to the image depending on the subject. So the enhancements it makes to a portrait will be portrait specific, while the changes that are made to a landscape will be landscape specific. The app also saves the original photo in case you want to work a little magic the good old-fashioned way with Photoshop on your computer. The app is available right now as preview, but the full-blown version won't be available until next year. Next we have the Leica SL2 camera. Takes 187 megapixel photos. Leica recently announced their new SL2 full-frame mirrorless camera, and it has some pretty impressive features. In addition to sporting an in-body sensor shift image stabilization that provides 5.5 stops of stabilization, it also has 47 megapixel sensor with an enormous dynamic range in it, at least, well, according to Leica. The camera features an ISO range from 50 to 50,000, color depth of 14 bits per RGB channel, and next to zero shutter lag thanks to its new image processor. Throw in 10 frames per second shooting with up to 20 frames per shooting using the electronic shutter, and you've got the makings of a pretty impressive camera. Now, of course, the multi-shot mode on this camera is what really caught my eye. The multi-shot allows you to take 8 photos in quick succession, each of which are a half pixel sensor shift between them. The images are then stitched together to create one gigantic 187 megapixels of goodness. Not bad, right? The SL2 will be released later this month, so keep your eyes peeled out on that. Next we have the Nikon Z50 started shipping. Nikon's newest addition to the Z series lineup, the Z50 has started shipping. The much anticipated APS-C camera is right around $850 for the body, which makes it a well-priced addition to the Z series. With a 16 to 50 millimeter lens, the price is just under $1,000, and bundled with the 16 50 millimeter lens and a 50 to 250 millimeter lens is right around $1,200. This is a great move by Nikon, if you ask me, because it opens up their mirrorless line cameras to a much wider audience. I'm not sure a beginner is going to jump on this camera or one of the bundles, but I can see a lot of folks with a couple years of photography under their belts with an older Nikon DSLR making the upgrade to the mirrorless now that they have this rig available. historic photos, including a negative of the Hiroshima bombing, up for sale on eBay. Now, if you're a photography buff, there's an interesting auction that's live on eBay right now. For a cool $2 million, yes, $2 million bucks, you can purchase hundreds of photos from World War II, including a rare negative that shows the bombing of Hiroshima. According to the auction listing, the collection includes 233 silver prints taken in Guam and Japan, the negative of the bombing, and the Kodak camera that belonged to the soldier in the 9th Photographic Technical Squadron, a unit that was relatively unknown until recent years. That's a pretty steep price for sure, but as a veteran and a history nerd, you'd bet I'd plunk down the cash for that if I could. Well, there you go, guys, your photography talk for the week. If you found this video to be helpful or just overall liked it, hit the like button down below. If you're currently not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, and while at it, hit the bell to be notified as we have new videos that come out. So with that said, guys, we'll see you next week, and so until then, you get out there and take your best shot.